The Iron Brotherhood's garage sat at the end of Route 9, where the town gave way to nothing but highway and pine trees. Marcus Steele Rodriguez was elbow-deep in a Harley's engine when he heard it, not the roar of motorcycles or the clang of tools, but something that made every man in that garage freeze. A child screaming. He straightened, wiping grease on his jeans, and turned toward the open bay door. That's when he saw her, a little girl, maybe 8 years old, running full speed down the shoulder of the highway. Her feet were bare and bleeding. Her yellow dress was torn and stained with dirt and what looked like blood. Cars swerved around her, horns blaring, but she didn't stop. She was running like hell itself was chasing her. Jesus Christ, Ben muttered, already moving toward the door. But the girl had spotted them. She changed direction, cutting across the parking lot, her small legs pumping with desperate energy. She collapsed at Marcus's feet, her chest heaving, tears streaming down her face mixed with snot and dust. Her hands clutched his oil-stained jeans like they were the only solid thing left in her world. "Please," she gasped between sobs. "Please help me. They're taking me away tomorrow. Please." Her voice cracked on that last word, splintering into something raw and terrified that hit Marcus like a punch to the chest. Diego knelt beside her, his massive frame making her look even smaller. Hey, you're safe now. What's your name, sweetheart?" She looked up at him with eyes too old for her face, eyes that had seen things no child should see. "Emma. My name is Emma, but they call me something else. They have other girls, too. In the basement." The temperature in the garage dropped. Marcus felt his blood turn to ice. Tommy was already on the phone with 911. Ben grabbed the first aid kit. But Marcus just knelt there, looking at this child whose feet were cut to ribbons from running on asphalt, whose arms bore bruises in the shape of adult fingers. "Who's they, Emma?" His voice came out gentler than he knew he could manage. She pointed back toward the highway with a shaking hand. "The house. The blue house with the broken fence. The man and the woman. They took me from the park 3 months ago. Said my mommy didn't want me anymore." Her words came faster now, tumbling over each other. "But I heard them talking last night. They said tomorrow someone's coming. Someone's paying money for me. I had to run. I had to." Ben pressed gauze to the worst cuts on her feet, but Emma barely seemed to notice. She was staring at Marcus like he was the only thing keeping her tethered to earth. "There's 4 other girls. They're younger than me. They're so scared. I told them I'd get help. I promised I'd come back." Marcus felt something ignite in his chest. That protective rage he'd learned to channel years ago when his own daughter was young, when he'd sworn no child would suffer if he could prevent it. "Tommy, tell them we need everything. FBI, State Police, Child Services. Tell them we have a witness and possible trafficking." He looked back at Emma. "That blue house, how far?" "I ran and ran. Forever." She started crying again. "My feet hurt so bad, but I couldn't stop. I saw your motorcycle from the road. My daddy had a motorcycle before he died. He said bikers were good people, that they protect people. Your daddy was right. Sweetheart." Diego wrapped a clean shop towel around her feet. "How many adults in that house?" Emma held up 3 fingers. "The man, the woman, and sometimes another man comes. He's scary. He has a gun." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Emma tensed, her small body going rigid. "It's okay," Marcus said. "That's help coming. Good people. I promise." But she grabbed his shirt with surprising strength. "You have to get the other girls. Tonight." The man said tomorrow morning at 6. He said after that we'd never see each other again. "Please." I promised them. 2 police cars and an ambulance screamed into the parking lot. Detective Sarah Chen hit the ground running, her face going pale when she saw Emma. Holy God! She knelt down, her voice shifting into that careful gentleness trained professionals use with traumatized children. Emma, I am Sarah. Can you tell me about the house?" For 20 minutes, Emma talked while paramedics treated her feet. She described the basement, the locks on the doors, the schedule the captors kept. She remembered everything with the terrible clarity of a child forced to grow up too fast. Marcus stood back, watching, his hands clenched into fists as she described sleeping on concrete floors, eating crackers, the sound of other girls crying in the dark. Detective Chin made calls. Within 40 minutes, SWAT teams were mobilizing. The blue house with the broken fence was 2.3 miles from the garage. Emma had run the entire distance barefoot on burning asphalt in afternoon heat. That kind of courage didn't come from nowhere. It came from desperation and the fierce determination to save others. "I want to go with you," Marcus said to Detective Chun. She started to refuse, then looked at Emma. The girl had her hand wrapped around Marcus's finger and wouldn't let go. "She trusts you." "Okay, you can ride in my car, but you stay back when we breach." The operation went down at sunset. 8 police vehicles, 2 SWAT vans, FBI agents in tactical gear. They hit the house from 3 sides simultaneously. Marcus waited in Detective Chen's car 2 blocks away, listening to radio chatter, watching Emma stare out the window toward the house she'd escaped. "I got 4 juveniles, basement location." A voice crackled over the radio. "All alive. Requesting medical." Emma's shoulders shook. She didn't make a sound, but tears poured down her face. Relief so powerful it looked like pain. 3 adults were arrested in under 4 minutes. The man with the gun never had a chance to reach for it. In the basement, police found 4 girls between ages 5 and 7, locked in a room with a bucket for a toilet and nothing else. They found documents, computers, and evidence of a trafficking network spanning 3 states. Emma was taken to the hospital, but not before she looked back at Marcus standing beside his motorcycle. "Thank you for believing me." Her voice was so small, so tired. Nobody ever believes kids. Marcus knelt down one last time. "I'll always believe you, Emma. You saved 4 lives today. You're a hero." She managed a tiny smile. "My daddy would be proud." "Your daddy is proud, sweetheart. I guarantee it." As the ambulance pulled away, Detective Chin approached Marcus. She ran 2 miles on cut feet to find help, at 8 years old, because she'd heard that bikers protect people. She shook her head, wiping her eyes. "You just saved 5 children, because one of them remembered that kindness exists." Marcus watched the ambulance disappear down the highway. Behind him, his brothers stood in silence, every single one of them thinking the same thing. Sometimes the most important thing you can do is be exactly where someone needs you when they need you most. Even if it's just standing in a garage on a random Thursday, covered in grease, ready to answer a desperate child's cry for help. Emma would spend weeks in the hospital and years in therapy, but she'd sleep safely for the first time in months. And 4 other little girls would go home, the parents who'd given up hope, all because one child refused to stop running and a group of bikers refused to look away. If this story moved you, subscribe to the Kindness Stories for more tales of courage and unexpected heroes. Share this to remind the world that real strength is using your power to protect those who have none. Comment below, would you have stopped? Would you have listened? Let's be the people who do. Until next time, remember that heroes are just ordinary people who choose to act when it matters most.